was a California August in 82 when my mother gave birth to the Spam Tech crew. 13 years later had me looking at Linux. Programming made me stronger like Papa the Spinach. Now, people know that a DG carry weapons, but if that weapon is a nest, you step in. We finish Contra with only one life. Finish Metal Gear 2 using only a knife. Right, people might think that we're frontin', then they see all the news online that I'm putting. My rhymes flow just like my code, even though my source is owned by SCO. What about my Indian? I keep it low. See me on Gunbound, call me pro. I'm a certified legend, but I'm still your bro. This is a PSA, boy, the more you know. I'm a legend everywhere that I go. Every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I'm a legend everywhere that I go. Every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I said my heart's wide open, goatsy, and my windows min like Ho Chi. I'm just another nerd, but I rap about it. Shit talk on the net, then I laugh about it. I've been caught slipping like the Star Wars kid when I'm on eBay sniping a bid. Catch me on a webcam like Numa Numa. See me at the club and I'm rocking Puma. Another net legend if you see me yodel. Spit a little something that's anecdotal. Tell me about the time the E-Bombs world stole your chop like I stole your girl. Catch me on Gen May, not something awful. Low tax would ban me, raffle. I'm a certified legend, but I'm still your bro. This is a PSA, boy, the more you know. I'm a legend everywhere that I go. Every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I'm a legend everywhere that I go. Every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spams. Yeah. I'm a legend everywhere that I go. Every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I'm a legend everywhere that I go. Every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spams. Yeah.
What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD, and this is the Punching Down Podcast, the only show on YouTube where it's okay to make fun and mock the stupid people of the internet. Today, we got a good one for you. We're going to be talking about bounding into comics, and already we see one of the writers, one of the people we're actually discussing tonight. He's in the chat, John Delarose. JDA is here. Now, Johnny, when we get to your segment, if you want to pop in and defend your position, defend yourself, that's all well and good. You can do that. But the bigger story, the bigger discussion is about bounding into comics itself and its weird political spin, its weird anti-news bias. No, Jan, there's no Amico news. Not tonight. Like I said, we're going to be talking about bounding into comics. We got articles from John F. Trent, plenty of things. He brings a lot of religion into it. It's supposed to be a nerd site, not a religious site, not a political site, right? As far as I know, this is supposed to just be a news outlet for geek entertainment. It's not quite what we get with bounding into comics. Plus, they have a whole bunch of ads, and I just don't like all the ads. So there's that. I will say before we get into it, John Delarose has been a guest on the show a couple of times. We are in a DM group together. I got nothing against him personally. I got nothing against any of the people we speak about personally, including Ethan, who is featured in one of the articles we're going to be talking about. It's going to be a good one. Hopefully, we're all ready. We're all set. We're all excited. Hey, look at it. I say Ethan's name and he shows up. Nerdette demonetized. No. It's Bible time with Tony. That's right. Oh god. It's gonna be a wild one. The fallout from this should be epic. Let's get into it. All right, this is the first thing we want to discuss here. This is an article from Bounding into Comics, because that is, like I said, what we're going to be discussing the entire time. It's going to be a Bounding into Comics episode. Netflix One Piece encourages transgender ideology by having Morgana Davies play Kobe. Dun, dun, dun. Guys, they're coming for your kids. They're coming for your children. Oh, man. I'm sure we're going to read this article and we're going to find out all the weird and devious ways One Piece is encouraging transgender ideology. I mean, first off, Bounding in Comics is a huge piece of shit for writing this headline. As we know, as anybody knows, anybody in the biz knows, most articles aren't actually read. Most people only read the headlines. 90% of all articles are only read by the headline, right? So this headline, which is going to be read by everybody, is going to make it seem like One Piece is pushing some sort of transgender ideology. What that ideology is, I have no fucking idea. I read this article and I still don't know what it is that the transgenders are trying to do, what it is they believe in, and how that plays into One Piece. But let's see what John F. Trent, who is the editor and chief of Bounding into Comics and the founder, I believe. Perverts everywhere. All right, let's see what's going on. It says Netflix's One Piece, which has dominated the streaming service's viewing charts for the past 2 weeks, encourages transgender ideology by casting Morgana Davies, a young woman who now claims to be a man, to play Kobe. Okay, so just casting this person encourages transgender ideology. I mean, this show has been out for weeks now. Everybody's talking about it. Like you said, it is, dominating those charts. I haven't seen one person, other than this Bounding into Comics article from yesterday, complain about this character. I haven't seen anybody really talking about this character or how One Piece is woke. In fact, everyone was saying how One Piece was so much better than Cowboy Bebop, and how this is finally anime done right. Finally, this is a show that respects the source material. This is a show that treats anime with all the seriousness that it deserves. And that's why it's getting such a good reception. This is a positive step forward for the anime community. But apparently, we've all been wrong. We've all been duped. Now, this is the person in question, Morgan Davies, as they are listed in the credits for the episode. Having watched 7 of the 8 episodes, the series itself, through its storylines, does not actually push this transgender ideology. Well, there we go. I mean, One Piece encourages transgender ideology. But by the third paragraph, it doesn't. It doesn't push transgender. It does not push trans. I'm confused, guys. I'm confused. I thought that the contents of an article should match the headline of said article. So if the article headline says that it pushes a transgender ideology, stating in your article that it actually doesn't, it's kind of disingenuous. In fact, it's kind of yellow journalism. This is the exact same kind of shit that Kotaku pulls, just on the other side, right? Just on the other side. It's insane. Pink Bunny Zero says there is no transgender ideology. Yeah. A show that has fish people. Indeed it does. I'm at a loss for words. I can't believe that Bounding into Comics, the bastion of journalistic ethics, the bastion of geek news. I mean, this is the site that everybody trusts, right? It's whipping Bleeding Cool's ass. It's so much better than Bleeding Cool, and they're lying on their headlines, and they're fear mongering. Funny. It says, ironically, there's a scene that makes it very clear that men and women are different So the show actually pushes the reverse. It pushes the heteronormative. Yeah, I think that's the word. The regular people ideology, the not trans people ideology, right? It says in a flashback sequence, I'm butcher these names, so forgive me. I don't watch One Piece. I'm not a fucking weeb. Shimosutsuki Quino tells Zoro, you'll surpass me in size, strength, and speed. Eventually, you'll surpass me in everything. When Zoro informs her, quote, that's dumb, she retorts, no, that's nature. I'm small now and fast, but soon all the boys will get taller and stronger. Their arms will be longer than mine. Zoro then questions, who cares about that kind of stuff? Quino responds, don't you get it? Girls can beat boys, but no woman can beat a man. Dun, dun, dun. While Quino makes it clear there are distinct physical differences between men and women, Zoro encourages her to make a vow with him that they will continue to push each other until one of them becomes the greatest swordsman. Oh, man, it's beautiful, beautiful. While the show seemingly acknowledges the differences between men and women, it doesn't necessarily rebuke transgender ideology, which claims that women can become men and vice versa. So now, we went from having a world in which, I don't know, just having a show with normal people was good enough, right? It was just good enough to have normal people, to have men and women in your show. Now you want the show to stop in the middle and actually preach. You want the show to preach that transgenderism, being transgender, is wrong. Is that what you want? I mean, that's the thing that people complained about from the other side, right? The shows were being stopped to push transgender and saying, hey, how this is true and this is real and respect the pronouns and all that shit, right? And we said, hey, that's bad. We don't want politics in our media, right? We don't want politics current day in our entertainment. Now what you're saying here is that you want current day in your entertainment, but just in the reverse. You want the show to go out of its way to deviate from the source material just so it can say that, the transgender quote unquote ideology is incorrect. It's very weird, very weird. Very weird. Comics Artist Pro says you want to pray for Tristan. Fantastic. Archbishop Sample says Tristan is living in sin, probably. I don't know the man, so he possibly said that. But, it is what it is. Like I said, it's really weird because I come from a world, right? I come from a place where basically we said, we want to be left alone. Let us play our video games. Let us watch our anime. Let us enjoy entertainment without current day, right? Without current day. Just let us have fun. Let the fun be fun. And if it's not for you, right, just walk away. Isn't that what we've always said? Isn't that what Gamergate was all about? Said, hey, if you don't like women with their titties hanging out and their butts all over the place, if that's not what you want, just play a different game, right? And so I would say, if the reverse is true, right? If the game has transgender, or if the show has transgender people and you don't want it, well, just don't watch it. Don't watch it. Simple as that. But you, Mr. John F. Trent, would like us to actually have the show come out and rebuke this quote-unquote transgender ideology. It says, and it's this ideology that Netflix and the show's production company, Tomorrow Studios, embraced with the casting of Davies as Kobe. I will say Davies does make a passable man. If not pointed out, I probably wouldn't even have noticed. Back in 2021, Davies spoke with Vogue, revealing she informed her parents that she thought she was a boy. Man, he put a lot of she's in there. It's almost like he's doing that on purpose, right? I'm not trying to misgender anybody. I've always said I'll call you whatever you want, as long as you don't be an asshole to me. So don't think that I am doing this. I'm only reading the article as it's written. And he's putting a lot of fucking she's in there. It's almost like he's doing it on purpose. Like he was so upset when he was writing this. He's like, I'm going to put a whole shit ton of she's in there. She was a boy at the age of 13. She told the outlet, at 13, I came out as trans, just to Mum and Catherine, her trusted agent and friend, Catherine Poulton, and a few close friends. She added, I was going through a lot of thinking, who the fuck am I? And where am I going? In fact, Davies admits she was confused. I wanted to act again. But it's really hard to put yourself on screen because as soon as you do, people make assumptions about who you are. It's so public. I wasn't even ready to leave my room, let alone go on a TV show and be like, hey, I'm Morgan. I didn't even know I was Morgan. I was really confused. Interestingly, Davies also revealed that around age 10, she attended the Cannes Film Festival for her role in The Tree. While at the film festival, Davies recounts how she was regularly attending nightclubs. Dun, dun, dun. She said, I had no idea about the gravity of the festival. I wore Crocs. It was insane. I was going to nightclubs. I was with Kristen Dunst at 3 a.m., but my main memory of Cannes was getting room service when I got back. Mac and cheese. Man, that's what it was. It was the mac and cheese at the Cannes Festival. Guys, mac and cheese turns kids trans. I figured it out. It's the mac and cheese. The fucking mac and cheese. That's what it is. Tony drinking that sweet, sweet Troon shot. I'm not drinking anything. I just don't care enough about people. See, that's the thing. I just don't care. Right? People are people. As God told me, as God told us all, we should love our neighbor. Love thy neighbor. All right? Love the sinner. Hate the sin. Right? Also, he who was without sin cast the first stone, John. Also, Ethan. So, you know. It's all that. It's all that. What else we got here? It says, it's likely Davies would have also used the One Piece's show to push transgender ideology onto fans of the series through the show's promotional tour. It's an assumption you're making. Again, now we're going into an opinion piece, right? We went from a news article to an opinion piece real quick. She previously pushed the ideology in the interview with Vogue, saying, I think we need more diversification behind the camera. There are trans stories, but not being written or directed or lit by a trans person. Oh my God, that's fucking horrible. She said, hey guys, maybe some trans people can like be directors and shit. That's fucking horrible. That is insanely horrible that she would say. How dare she say that? Davies also made clear she wants the transgender ideology normalized through acting. While talking about her role in Blaze, she said, I swear to God, like John just put like as many fucking pronouns she as he could in this article. Even though it's a very small part, there was no mention of gender. I was just playing a dude. Commenting on the short film, A Beautiful Day, she described it as a story that shows a good trans experience. You know what's great about acting? The greatest thing about acting is that you could pretend to be something you're not. Right? You could go out there and you could pretend to be, I don't know, a pirate that's going across the ocean and trying to find the mysterious One Piece. So fantastic, right? You could just almost be anything in a movie, film, or TV show. So why would we limit people of one gender from playing another gender on the big screen? Food for thought. The writing of the story does not push the ideology. The casting decision does. Were you there in the room, John? Were you in the room when they made the casting decision? Do you know that when they cast the person, that the casting director knew they were trans? Did they just say, "Hey, you look like the character from the manga. Let's cast you"? I haven't read One Piece, so I don't know. I wasn't there. Can they just act like they aren't perverts? I haven't seen anything where she's acted like a pervert. So, I don't know, Ethan. It's kind of weird. I mean, I would ask John if he could act like he's not a pervert, because, I mean, if we want to really, go there, right? We want to call people perverts and say, hey, that's not good and you shouldn't act a certain way, and you probably, clearly sexualized women that are of an ambiguous age probably shouldn't be a thing that you talk about. I mean, Johnny Boy here, Johnny Jellarose here says, hey, look, my favorite magazine, Servova. That's clearly degenerate. Look at that. I wouldn't like that. I don't follow this account. I didn't even know this account existed until I saw John's tweet about it. I mean, that's not a man of God. That's not a man of God right there. Clearly, that is degenerate behavior. And then we all know that gays are bad, right? Gays are bad, and so that's the Bible says no gay stuff, right? No gay stuff, no none of that, all that. This John Della Rose reposted Jay Manfred Weshow's new review on the DMR Books blog, Warrior Soul and Other Stories, which clearly depicts two females naked embracing each other, two females in a naked embrace on the cover of this book that John Della Rose is clearly reposting, retweeting out. Clearly, so he approves of this. He approves of lesbian sexual activity, which clearly, again, is against the Bible and against all the good things, right? That's kind of perverse. I do not stand for such perversion. And I was shocked when my friend John reposted that. Shocked. I'm appalled. As a good Christian, I'm frankly appalled by such behavior. I don't know. So, moving on. Says, fortunately, the SAG-AFTRA strike appears to have prevented any promotion of the series from all actors involved, and thus Davies did not get to spread the transgender ideology to the One Piece viewing audience. And this ideology is extraordinarily dangerous. Extraordinary. Archbishop Alexander Sample explains, quote, to some, supporting aspects of social transition may seem benign, even humane, such as using someone's preferred pronoun and actively affirming his or her perceived gender. However, while well-intentioned, this kind of endorsement may help shepherd a young person on a path of unnecessary medicalization. Oh, man. Social transition is often the first step towards hormones and surgery, he ends. A 2020 survey of transgender and non-binary youth found that 64% of the respondents were either already receiving cross-sex hormones or desired to do so. Danish researchers who first used puberty blockers on gender dysphoric children found that social transition increased the likelihood that dysphoria would persist and result in medicalization. This guy has he talks a lot about trans stuff, I guess. Social transition can also include practices such as breast binding and genital tucking, both of which have been shown to have adverse effects on physical health, like testicular torsion and reduced fertility in males, and abdominal lung function and back pain in females. Moreover, a 2020 study on the effects of social transition found that family and peer relations, but not social transition status, predicted psychological function. He asserted. Interesting, Mr. Samples. What do you make of Netflix and Tomorrow Studios encouraging transgender ideology with the casting of Morgan Davies as Kobe? Well, personally, John F. Trent, I feel like I wouldn't have noticed it had you not pointed it out. I clearly just thought this was a very effeminate man. I thought this was just a beta male, and I didn't think nothing of it. So, to me, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Archbishop Samples over here, he's kind of pissed off about it. Apparently, he does not believe in the Jesus teachings, the Christian teachings of loving people, just loving everyone. The God of humanity, the God of love. God is love, right? Now, I personally don't think that children should get hormone blockers or should get transition, right? Because children are stupid. And I don't let stupid people make decisions, right? If we let children make decisions, they'd be eating candy for breakfast and staying up forever, right? So stupid people shouldn't make decisions. But once they become adults, their stupidity is their own problem, right? And at that point, if they want to transition, that's up to them. But that's just the way I look at things. I'm a little more humane. I see people. I don't see freaks. But that's just me. I agree, EVS. I hate people that hurt kids. Hate them to death. But that's not all. That's not all. I'm glad that my good buddy EVS is in the chat because we actually got an article that's about you. It's weird. It's like Inception here. So I'm going to share this one. EVS. What does it say? Ethan Van Sciver, perverts like Emily Drabisky want to, quote, reprogram your children through perverse sexual comic books that are being used as propaganda. It's from John F. Trent, another John F. Trent banger. Oh, man. It's going to be great. Feel it already. And like I said, because Ethan is here and he's in the chat, clearly he wants. I'm gonna post the link. So if Ethan wants to come in and defend his position or defend any of the things in the article or clarify anything, he's welcome to. So there you go. So Cyberfrog creator Ethan Van Sciver recently asserted that perverts at Scholastic and the American Library Association are attempting to, quote, reprogram your children through comic books. This is beautiful, but I read this. Beautiful. I love Cyberfrog. I can't say enough good things about Cyberfrog. So if you haven't read it, I would pick it up. It's not political. I didn't find any weird political things in the book. It was just a good old-fashioned comic book. And I liked it. So in a recent video upload to his Comic Artist Pro Secrets YouTube channel, Van Sciver covered a recent article at Bleeding Cool. And this is like 3 levels of journalism. He didn't want to cover the Bleeding Cool article. So he's going to cover Ethan covering the Bleeding Cool. It's kind of weird. Reporting that Ohio parents want to remove a sexually graphic pro-sodomy book titled Heartstopper from Scholastic book fairs in the Little Miami School District. Well, I definitely do not want a sexually graphic book in any school, right? I'm against children reading sexually graphic material. It's disgusting. I'm disgusted. Even those words together, right? Children and graphically sexual content shouldn't even be in the same sentence. There should be like 6 or 7 sentences in between those words, right? That's how far removed I think those things should be. Yes. Cyberfrog belongs in 1992. He does. And I think that's part of the point, right? Not to sort of break away from what we're doing here, but Cyberfrog is supposed to be a product of his time, brought forward, almost a fish out of water type thing. John, why only the white males? What about the black and Hispanic and Chinese and Asian? You forgot all those people? Only the white guys get a good night? It's kind of weird. All right. It says, before he gets to specifics, Van Sciver asserts that, quote, the industry that's been hijacked and is now being used and subverted, trying to reach your kids where your kids naturally go. And that's the whole thing. You wonder why so much attention is being paid to Disney movies and video games and comic books. Well, that's because these people are interested in your kids. I don't want no one interested in my kids. Tell you what. They know they can't change your minds, right? He explained. They're out to reprogram your children, and they figure among those battlegrounds that they need to fight are the comic book industry. The Cyberfrog Dark Harvest creator then explains, so basically, the American Library Association, in conjunction with, I'm afraid, Scholastic book fairs. The Scholastic book fairs are interesting because for the last 10 years, a lot of really strange comic books have been able to make a living. A lot of these creatives have been able to make a living by selling to Scholastic book fairs. Because if you can get Scholastic to carry your comic book, you're selling right to kids who are basically a sitting duck. They're sitting targets. Oh my God, children are just sitting targets. They're too dumb to know what they want, right? Like they go in there. They're just like, hey, I'm going to pick up a ruler. I'm going to pick up a Pokemon bookmark. I'm going to get myself some dino stickers. Oh, shit, gays. And then they just come home with a whole bunch of gay stuff. It's the weirdest thing ever. Like you send your kid, like, hey, go get yourself that new Power Ranger book. Boom, come back with a trans book. Happens every day. He continued, these scholastic book fairs, the buses come around. The kids bring home catalogs of books they can order. Kids who ordinarily couldn't order any books are all getting to go to these scholastic book fairs and get books their parents pay for them. So automatically, there's money coming in. There's an audience of kids who, if they weren't on the scholastic book fair bus, they'd be sitting in class. So they're quite happy to be on that bus. And, of course, once it was realized that there was this audience here, it didn't take long for the perverts to come in and start putting things like this. Heartstopper. Dun, 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 here. Man, Ethan, you're really selling this. And personally, I have nothing against Ethan. He's been on the show. I think we have a lot of the same thoughts and opinions on things. Apparently, we differ on this thing here. We differ. I can't get an ad blocker because it's against my philosophy on pirating stuff. So, you know, there's a lot of money in genderqueer. I don't know if there is, but we're not talking about that. So, you know, but again, I put the link in there, so I guess Ethan's doesn't want to come on, right? That's fine. It's fine. I get it. You know. I wouldn't want to come on when I said something stupid like this either, right? If I had said something incredibly stupid, like you had said, Ethan, about this book, I probably wouldn't want to come on either and defend it, right? Because it's real easy. It's real easy to say stupid things to an audience that doesn't look into it, to an audience that does no research, to a website like Bounding into Comics that has no journalistic integrity, that does not research a single fucking thing. It's real easy to lie to those people. It's not easy. It's not easy to lie to me because I don't say things if I don't know them, right? And that's the key here. That's the key. That's the takeaway you should understand. If I'm talking about something, it's probably because it's wrong and it needs to be corrected, right? So you'll be shocked to know that this book here, this Heartstopper comic, this. What did they call it? They called it a sexually graphic pro-sodomy book. This book here. There's not a single depiction of sex in the book. Not a single. Let me say that again. Heartstopper here is a fucking cringe book about two gay guys who are in a relationship. And there's no sex in it. There's literally no sex. The characters aren't even of age. The characters are still underage. I think they're like 14 or 15. The most they do is kiss, right? Now, I don't know about you, but if I was a young, impressionable 12 to 18-year-old and heterosexual male as I am, and I saw this book and I said, oh, look, it's about two gay guys, I just wouldn't fucking buy it. I am not interested in this story at all. I don't know, maybe my mind is just so much stronger than the average mind of the typical 12 to 18-year-old in 2023. But as a straight heterosexual male, I'm not buying this book, right? It's not even like they tricked you. It's not like there's a hot chick on the cover and like, oh, haha, we tricked you. Now there's actually gays in there. No, it's literally like two dudes on the cover. Very, very queer coded. Like you could just look at this and go, oh, those guys are gay. So yeah, I wouldn't be buying this. So I don't see how this is slipping under the radar. Right? Well, all right. From there, Van Sciver discusses how a number of parents are rightfully taking issue with books like Heartstopper. Fox 19 reports one parent, Silas Shelton, informed them it's more than foul language. There's so much sexual innuendo, especially in Heartstopper. Oh, man. So this book aimed at 12 to 18-year-olds, per the little key features thing, the little description, clearly says 12 to 18. You guys can't read it because it's real small on the page here. But trust me when it says 12 to 18. Right? This is terrible, right? We can't have sexual innuendo in our comic book. Sexual innuendo is wrong, right? Children, ages 12 to 18, should not be thinking about sex in any shape, form, right? It's clear. It's clearly. I mean, you know, when I think of comic books, right, I clearly never, ever think of sex. There's never any sex in my comic books, right? I mean, it's a different time. It was a different time. Like when I was young, I was reading like Marvel and DC. Oh shit, what's this? Cracked. 18 completely racy or completely crazy sex scenes in DC Comics. It's weird. See Batman and Catwoman in the New 52. And they had a little coitus. Look at Green Arrow and Black Canary. She's naked. That's her ass hanging out. Got her titty out. They're trying to make children read those comic books. Ethan, you work for DC. You've obviously came out against this, right? Because children shouldn't be reading a book where two adults are having sex. What is this? Twilight Lady and Night Owl 2. Man, again, naked. This before Watchmen. So kids ain't probably reading Watchmen shit. Swamp Thing. Oh, that's disgusting. Abigail Arcane eats Swamp Thing's sex tuber. Wow. That's I don't even know. That's just a weird. He pulls out his little sexy bulb and she just eats it. Batman and Black Canary. Batman getting a lot of action. And one of the most bonkers moments in comic book history, Batman and Black Canary have aggressive mask-on sex on a pier while enemies burn to death in a nearby building. All-star Batman and Robin. Dark Knight Strikes Again. Superman and Wonder Woman. Supes takes Diana to the skies for some dive bomb sex. It ends with her passionately telling Clark, I'm pregnant again. There's no way. There's no way, right? It's like some perverts and DC are trying to get children to think about sex. DC grooming? Is that what was DC grooming children? Man, that's so fucking weird. Tony's still reading an article while Chad talking about book fairs. I'm sorry. Is Frog really mad about subliminal sex messages? I think so. It's weird because some of these are old comics. It's not even like new. Like you'd be like, oh, this is a new comic, right? The Nightwing and Starfire. Getting it on. Shit, look at that. Tali and Chantilnell. I don't know how to pronounce this shit. Hellblazer. Ain't no kids reading Hellblazer. Silk Spectre and Dr. Manhattan's twosome threesome. That's degenerate. He had like two of them. He tried to give her the little the devil's triangle, scandal and knockout. Oh, wait a minute. This is two women. It's two women. Homosexuality and bisexuality weren't really normalized in DC Comics until Gail Simone and Dave Eaglersham's Secret Six. While this scene is post-coital, it's particularly taboo for two women characters to be casually nude and affectionate towards each other in mainstream comics. Man, what is this? What issue is this? It's totally inappropriate. I'm shocked. Ravager and Robin. Not my boy Wonder. My boy Wonder is gay. What's this? Robin's not supposed to have straight heterosexual sex. We got Phantom Lady and Black Condor. Man. Night Owl, Silk Spectre, they doing it again. Oracle Nightwing? Isn't Oracle like crippled? Is Dick Grayson really having relations with a crippled lady? That's taking advantage. Yeah, her wheelchair is right here. She can't even move. That's not a good. Come on. You're better than that, Robin. You're better than that. Some of these were mature readers' books, but they're comics. The whole thing is that they're comics, right? They're comics. The Heartstopper comic book, whatever you want to call it, graphic novel, is 12 to 18, which would be your older audience. Man. Midnighter and Apollo. Wait. Two gay guys in DC Comics pushing that agenda. Harley Quinn and Deadshot. What else we got? Batman and Talia. Batman on this list a lot. And this weirdest thing, Batman and Superman watch tentacles have sex. In World's Finest 289, Batman and Superman watch this weird tentacle monster have weird tentacle monster sex. It's like a Japanese hentai artist invaded DC and just tentacle monsters all over the place. Crazy. But remember, it's Heartstopper. Heartstopper's the one. But I mean, that's not the only. That's DC, right? What about Marvel? Top 17 most graphic sex scenes in Marvel Comics. Oh man, She-Hulk and the Juggernaut break the entire room. Ah man, look at all this implications of sexual activity. And they're not married. This is premarital sex between a superhero and a supervillain. It's not against. That's against God. God would not like this. God is shaking his godly finger. Imperious sex. Oh my God. The Submariner had sex with this weird, icky creature thing. Ugh. Luke Cage's anal sex with Jessica Jones. Sodomy. Wasn't the book that we're talking about, wasn't pro sodomy the thing that they were upset about? I'm sure I'm going to find a Luke Cage article on Bounding into Comics, right? Iron Man and Black Widow, they make a sex tape? Jesus Christ. What's Marvel thinking? Spider-Man gets molested when he was a boy. Oh, man. That's grooming. That's like, I mean, I don't know. That would be the definition of grooming, wouldn't it? Showing a comic in which a young, impressionable Peter Parker is seduced by an older gentleman. Weird. Now, what the heck am I looking at? The Edge of Senate. We're looking at weird sex scenes in Marvel Comics. So, I think we get the point. I was making, right? Sometimes I take these points just a little too far. But I think we get there's a lot more. It's just, panels of people having sex, panels of shirts being ripped off, people having orgasms, people half naked, post-coital, pre-coital, Aunt May in bed naked with a guy. We don't want to see that. No one wants to see that. Let's get back to John Trent, because John was really upset. Him and Ethan. All the sexual innuendo in Heartstopper. That's bad. Marvel Comics and DC, they're not grooming kids. Fox 19 also reported that another parent, David Wallace, wrote a letter to the school board taking issue with the language used in the book and noted how students would not be allowed to use the language at school. Man, I know there is some swear words. There's some cuss words in Heartstopper. So that is correct. There is cuss words in Heartstopper. 12-year-olds no cuss words. Shit. 8-year-olds no cuss words. Come on. In his letter, Wallace stated, "I'm writing to ask that you cease all scheduled scholastic book fairs in our district until an independent team can determine that the books made available to the youngsters of Little Miami are age appropriate in accordance with Little Miami values and policies." He continued, "On the evening of Tuesday, August 22nd, I was in attendance when a member of our community stood up and addressed the board about a questionable book, Heartstoppers Volume 1 and 2, currently being sold to Little Miami's middle school students via the Scholastic Book Fair. The resident brought his concerns to you, the board members, in hopes that this book would be removed from the shelf. You did not. Not only did you not seem to hear and take seriously this individual's complaint, these books were still available to our students the following school day. I know this because I went and purchased them." This guy David Wallace was very upset. He went to a school board meeting, and the school board meeting, they're like, "Hey, there's this book about perverse gay sex. It's a book about two adolescents having premarital gay homosexual sex." And David Wallace's first thought was, "Hey, I need to go to the school and buy some of those." Check that man's hard drive is what I'm saying. Check that man's hard drive, because if I was like, "Hey, if I heard that there was some really questionable shit, I would not be going to the school the next day to buy it, right?" You're told on yourself, David, is what I'm saying. You're told on yourself. There he is. I'm not saying that's a guy where you should check his hard drive because of the way he looks. But if you ask me what a guy looked like that I thought you should check his hard drive, it'd be that one. That's the look. To say I was shocked by the language and content of these graphic novels would be a gross understatement. In the hands of an adult, fine. In the hands of students in grades 6 through 8, I can only describe these books as propaganda. He asserts, it is my opinion that you have been negligent protecting our students from books that many families would find offensive in our community. I mean, if you asked enough people, they'd probably find books with black people offensive. They'd probably find books with interracial marriages offensive, right? Asking the community is not really a good idea. I implore you, do the right thing, and that this letter is not dismissed as readily as you dismissed the concerned parent that spoke to you at the August meeting. Fox 19, Simone Jameson and Jared Gofiet confirmed the books include intimate scenes and expletives. I love how they put intimate scenes, right? Now, this is an intimate scene. Guys, this right here would qualify as an intimate scene. 2 men, 2 boys, holding hands, looking into each other's eyes. It looks like they're a little blushed. They're blushing because they like each other. Got their feet up. Look, they got that leg up. Now, if I saw this as a child, I'd be like, I don't want to buy this. I'm straight. They're not forcing your children to buy this. So I don't see the issue here. I don't see what the issue is. You missed a lot. Wait till they find out about hentai. That's what I'm saying. Wait till they find out. It's ridiculous. But again, I was willing. I was very open to having Ethan come and explain why I was wrong on this situation. Nowhere to be found. Funny that. He was definitely in here. Definitely. Now he's not. The propaganda was too much for him. Too much. After briefly discussing Silas's objections, Van Sciver notes books like Heartstopper are being specifically aimed at children by individuals like Emily Drabinski, the president of the American Library Association. Man. I don't know if it's being aimed specifically at children or if it's just a book written for 12 to 18-year-olds, right? This book aimed at 12 to 18-year-old individuals. It's almost like gay people exist. You know? Like gay people just exist in As Van Sciver points out, Drabinski describes herself as a Marxist lesbian back in April 2022 in a now deleted tweet. Oh, we got that tweet. The Federalist reported Drabinski wrote, I just cannot believe that a Marxist lesbian who believes that collective power is possible to build and can be wielded for a better world is the president-elect of American Library Association. I am so excited for what we will do together. Solidarity. And my mom is so proud. I love you, Mom. She loves her mom. Guys, this lady's horrible. It's a horrible lady who loves her mother. I, for one, will not stand for this. I want my Library Association president-elect to have a very terrible relationship with her mother. That's all I'm saying. If you don't hate your mother, you can't run the library. In case you missed it, the American Library Association just elected a self-described Marxist as its new president. Not what you want to see for the future of libraries. But why? Is she like burning books? Is she destroying the libraries? Is this lady actually doing anything untold? That's all I'm asking. I mean, I don't really care what she is. She can call herself any number of labels: communist, socialist, vegetarian. Fuck if I care. Just make sure that there's books at the library for people to read. The Green Lantern artist then points out, it probably should be like former Green Lantern. I don't think he draws Green Lantern anymore, right? I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Ethan was fired from DC, let go, had his contract not renewed. One of those, whatever, however you want to phrase it. He doesn't draw for DC anymore, is what I'm saying. So it probably should be former Green Lantern artist, right? Because we're very strict, right? Mr. Trent, you were very insistent to call Morgan she throughout your article, right? But when it comes to Ethan, you don't call him former. It's just weird. points out these are the people who are placing books, ordering books, who are supporting radicals, who are putting product books, literature in your publicly funded school libraries, and then again in these scholastic book fairs. Oh man! Again, as a child, if I bought a book and I didn't like it, I'd just stop reading it. Again, I don't know. Maybe my willpower is just that much stronger than other people, and I'm not susceptible to propaganda, to brainwashing, to the cult. I don't know. From there, he cites Stravinsky's own comments from her teaching the Radical Catalog, where she revealed at Sarah Lawrence, absolutely everybody was queer. There were so many ways to be gay, and it was my job to teach those students how to find themselves in our library catalog. Oh man, she was suggesting gay books to gay students. I mean, also, queer just means different. Doesn't mean gay. It wasn't originally meant gay. So maybe she's just like, hey, everybody's fucking weird here. Van Sciver states, these are your kids. It's her job to teach your kids how to be gay. That's not what she said. She didn't say I'm going to teach them how to be gay. She said they were gay. She said there was many ways to be gay. She said everybody was gay. And she was going to help them find themselves in their library. But she didn't say I was going to teach them how to be gay. Kind of different things, right? She wants to help your children learn some of the many ways to be queer and gay. She didn't say that. She absolutely did not say that. Like literally, like this and this are like separated only by an ad. The ad in between them, right? Are your readers so fucking dumb that they read this, then they see the ad, and then their mind forgets the thing that they just read above the ad? Like the ad break is fucking erases their brain. You're like, oh shit, yeah, Ethan's right. She wants to teach her kids to be gay. She's a weird looking lady. I'll say that. She is a weird looking lady. Next, Van Sciver would discuss Wallace's letter and specifically the parents' assertion that the book is propaganda. He said, quote, no kidding, we just proved to you that these are intentionally propaganda. They're serving a purpose and they are serving an agenda. Of course they are. Of course they're serving an agenda. It's ridiculous to assume otherwise. Literally, that whole little quote didn't say a damn thing. He didn't say a damn thing. He just kept repeating that there was an agenda. And yes, you didn't prove anything. You proved nothing. We just proved. No, you didn't just prove. You literally didn't prove shit. Yeah, the lady's a weirdo. Okay. You proved that. That's about the only thing. You proved that the lady's kind of a weirdo and she has weird political leanings. Political leanings that I don't agree with, political leanings that I don't have. But other than that, you didn't prove anything. You didn't prove no agenda. What is the agenda? Right? What is the agenda? Curious. He then listed off a number of books like Genderqueer, books like This Book is Gay, Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eyes. All these books are appearing right now in libraries. And these scholastic book trucks, book fairs, that's no accident. It's no coincidence. No shit, it's not an accident. Literally, someone's like, hey, let's put this book in there. There's a lot of gay people. Now, let's make some money off of the gays. Genderqueer. Again, I looked into this thing. There's two graphic, and not really graphic. One is sort of graphic, but then the next one makes it clear that it's not what you think you're looking at. And then the other one just has like a period thing. It's nasty. Guys don't like thinking about periods. Guys don't like looking at the aftermath of a period. It's not for me. I don't like it. Van Sciver then insinuated that individuals like Rich Johnson at Bleeding Cool are trying to whip up fear to turn people against the parents by labeling them as book banners. The idea is to kind of get people to turn against these parents and say, look, you should be disgusted by them. There they go again, these staunchly conservative hicks from America's flyover country who don't have an education or sophistication of the smarter elites like Emily Jabinski. I don't know Rich from Bleeding Cool. I don't know if that's what he said. I don't know if that's what he implied. I'm not going to take Ethan's word that that's what Rich said. I mean, you could have showed, something from the Bleeding Cool article or something from Rich Johnson showing this is an accurate portrayal of what Rich's take is. But I will say, rock and roll used to be bad. Used to be bad, right? No, right. Elvis Presley moving them hips, shaking them hips on the TV. That was a no. Always throughout history, throughout the time immemorial, parents and children always had different ideas what was socially acceptable, right? Children always want to push boundaries. Children always have a different idea of what's cool from parents, right? And so, yeah, it's no wonder that kids might be okay with this and the parents aren't, right? Because parents ain't cool, right? Things that I like, things that I think are cool and hip and with it. Sidekick Max probably calls me a boomer over, right? Doesn't do it to my face, but I'm pretty sure when I'm not around, he's like, man, my dad is an idiot. And my dad, it's not cool. It's not cool. I don't have the riz, as those children say. Just finished my. Don't. Why would you say that, Bianca? God damn it. No one wants to hear about that. Did you? He continued, and look, Drabinski is just trying to make your children won't grow up to be just as backwards as you are. After all, don't you know? Look, remember World War II when book bans were the precursor to the rise of Nazism. This person's just trying to protect you and protect us and our civilization against Nazism. And there's no agenda here at all. That's a lie that they tell. And this is the emotional feedback loop that they're hoping to create. Is that what Rich said? Did Rich call you a Nazi? Again, it would be really helpful if he actually showed what Rich Johnson said, right? Because I don't know if that's what he said. I don't know if this is just Ethan playing to his base. This is just Ethan saying things that he knows is going to get his crowd excited, right? Because I'm pretty sure that doesn't sound like something that Bleeding Cool would have wrote. I'm just having an inkling, that that's not exactly what was written by Rich Johnson. Later in the video, Van Skyver states, what I am not is somebody who supports an agenda to alter and reprogram children at the taxpayer expense. So what this sounds like to me, right? If I was an asshole, I would say that this sounds like Ethan's okay with it as long as it's not a taxpayer expense, right? He's not somebody who supports an agenda to alter and reprogram at the taxpayer expense. So as long as it's not, as long as the kids' families pay for themselves, he's cool with it. Me, myself, again, I'll state this unequivocally. Children are stupid, right? And I don't think children should make any sort of decision that has life-altering consequences. Sure, a child can change the way they dress. Say, hey, mom, call me a boy. Hey, mom, call me a chick. I want to wear a dress. I want to wear chinos and fucking alligator boots, whatever, right? Because that's not going to do nothing. I don't think they should get hormone replacement therapy, hormone blockers, none of that, because we don't know the long-term effects. I want to err on the side of caution when it comes to that, right? Personally, that's my take. Again, when they're 18, make your decisions. You're an adult. That's what we do as adults, make decisions. Sometimes we make stupid ones, but hey, those are our decisions. But yeah, so at the taxpayer expense, I would have just left it right there. Supports an agenda to alter and reprogram children, period. Point blank, period. Or maybe especially at the taxpayer. Like, that's a double, right? Like, I don't want it, but then even more so because now you're trying to make me pay for it. But that's just me. I talk like a normal person. I talk like somebody who says things clearly. Obviously, Dubinsky. I thought her name was Drabinski. Yeah, her name is Drabinski, right? See, Emily Drabinski. Except for here, it says Dubinsky. Come on, John. You're supposed to be running a respectable website here, a respectable news organization, and you can't even put the person's fucking name right. You can't even spell the lady's name correctly. You're gonna villainize somebody. At least do it with the correct fucking name, right? Come on. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway, moving on. is kind of crossing a lot of lines and barriers, and I think that they know it. They're excited about the prospect of getting to your children. He continued, all these books, and I'm proud to see it happening. I like to see it happening. I like to see that books are being scrutinized. Books like this do not belong in public school libraries. They shouldn't be in scholastic book fairs. They just shouldn't be there. It's crazy. It's disgusting. It's insane, and it doesn't bother me very much that the comic book industry that I love is being used as a tool of propaganda by creeps like, again, it's not Dubinsky, it's Drabinski, to really hurt and confuse your children. F, not Dubinsky, Drabinski, F bleeding cool for the ridiculous article. Again, you could have showed us what the article said, right? Could have showed us something. Then apparently, for whatever reason, we're just going to show a picture from Green Lantern because that's somehow appropriate here. Hey, look, Ethan did a panel on. This is a book he used to work on. Oh, Jordan rebukes Parallax. Okay, well, thanks for that, John F. Trent. Van Sciver then shared, we've got children getting through elementary school who have trouble reading, who don't know history, who don't know basic math, but they're being taught perverse sexual practices like fisting and oral sex. Whoa. Not what the hell? What book is teaching you about fisting? I would like to know. Please tell me where I can find this book about fisting so I can avoid that place. And that seems to be what the agenda is here. That is the focus of these people. It's peculiar. It is strange. It is beyond a waste of our taxpayer money and time. Again, I think you're being a little hyperbolic here, Ethan. Just a little. And John F. Trent, right? Because again, this is supposed to be a respectable news outlet. John F. Trent has not one time scrutinized any of what Ethan has claimed, right? He is simply repeating Ethan's claims without fact check. He is repeating Ethan's claims without checking them against facts, without actually researching, investigating the books in question. I don't believe Ethan or John F. Trent actually read Heartstopper. You see, prior to going through this article, prior to coming out here on this show, prior to talking to you guys about this book, I actually looked it up. I actually researched it. I actually had Sidekick Max pull it up on one of those websites where you could read books, and we went through it. So none of the claims being made about this book, about the contents of the book, are accurate at all. At all. And how do I know this? Because again, I actually fucking read it. Right? Unlike these people who are just telling you shit, who are just fear-mongering and then repeating fear-mongering points, I actually read the book. So, again, if you're supposed to be a respectable fucking journalistic website, you should be fucking checking this shit. Just because somebody's on your team, just because somebody's saying the things that you want to be said, don't fucking repeat them. Don't fucking print them. Don't treat them as gospel, right? And a lot of people get mad at me. I had Alpha Eagle. Alpha Eagle's been all up in my fucking comment sections lately. He's been really mad, really mad. Tony, why are you taking right-wingers to task? Aren't you supposed to be right-wing? Aren't you supposed to be on our team? No, I'm not on your fucking team. I'm not on nobody's fucking team, okay? I am on the team of truth. I am on the team of accuracy. I am on the team of humanity, okay? When you come out here and you tell fucking lies, when you tell stories, when you make shit up, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there to check you. I'm going to be there to make sure that people get the accurate, correct information. And I don't care if you're right. I don't care if you're left. I don't care if you're center. I don't care if you're rich, poor, fat, ugly, old. If you say some shit that's incorrect, I am going to be here to make sure that that correct information gets out. And you might think, well, Tony, you're a fucking nobody. You're going up and bounding into comics. But don't worry. The people that need to hear this, the people that need to know this information, they're going to get it, right? And I don't care if this information goes from me to somebody much bigger and they take it, they take the ball and run with it, right? Because that's all I got to do. All I got to do is make sure that that ball is in play. Make sure that the ball is in play and someone else can take it, run it across the end line. Touchdown, right? So here we are. It says, as parents, I'm proud of David Wallace. Stand up and oppose this at every turn. Let's put a stop to this, he concluded. again, maybe read the books. Maybe see what the books actually say. I think they're fucking cringy, right? Heartstopper is cringy as shit. Okay. But again, I'm fucking 42. I'm not a 12 to 18-year-old. I'm not hip with children, as they say. I don't care about the modern vernacular. I think it's all fucking cringe. But that's me, right? Younger people might like it. Younger people might get it. Some people might not like it, right? As a straight man, I definitely wouldn't be purchasing it. I definitely, hey, you know what? I need to pick up the book about the gay guys. No. So I don't know what agenda is being pushed. It says, what do you make of Van Sciver's comments? Very inaccurate, inflammatory, embarrassing. What do you make of Scholastic pushing these books on children? They're not. Scholastic is literally not. They're offering books. They're not. If they were like, hey, every book you buy, you get a copy of Heartstopper free, or hey, they're just chucking Heartstopper books, and the kids come in the bus and they're just fucking chucking books at kids. Maybe then, right? They're like, hey, you can't leave unless you buy one of the gay books. You might have a point there, but they're not doing any of that shit. They're literally just offering a product that some children might want. It's not even children, right? 12 to 18-year-olds, so like pre-teens to older teen. What do you make of the Ohio School Board? They were accurate. They were correct. They did the right thing. They looked at it and said, yeah, this book ain't as bad as you fucking think it is. Maybe read it. Maybe read the fucking book and then complain, right? Stop fear-mongering. What do you make of these leading questions? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Extra hero. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Sorry about that, Alpha Ego. No problem. I told him he can come by Friday if he wants to have a discussion. He did that with everybody and converted some of Tristan's subscribers. Well, those were the stupid ones, so it's fine. It's fine, right? If somebody converts some of my stupid subscribers, I am fine with them leaving. I don't want stupid people. I only want the intellectually honest people here in the crowd. So, unfortunately, neither John nor Ethan decided to come on. It's a shame. It's a shame. Everybody's always been telling me I should debate EVS. Tony debate EVS. When EVS would have a great debate. I was hoping we were going to get it today. I was like, yeah, we're going to get this debate. But didn't get it. Anyway, I think that's it. I could spend all day. We could literally just go to Bounding Into Comics website and probably find 100 more fucking articles to read. But I think you get the gist of it. They're not journalists. They're fucking activists. They're activists on the right. They're activists that are really anti-gay, anti-trans. And that's fine, right? It's fine if that's what they want to be. Just admit it. Just come out and say, hey, this is not a journalistic website. This is not a news website. We're an agenda-pushing website that wants to push a certain narrative, that are going to lie to you, that are going to spin things a certain way in order to angry and upset certain people on the right. That's fine, right? I mean, like I said, if that's what you want to be, just be it. Just admit it, right? Be true to yourself. Stop hiding. Get out of the closet, Bounding Into Comics, and just admit in front of everybody. Say, hey, this is who I am. I am here. I'm anti-queer. And that's all you can do. But for me, I'm going to be intellectually honest. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell it like it is. So if you want real news, I think I'm going to have to bring back the website, thegeekgetaway.com. Probably starting next month. I'll get some things built up. I'll get some things done. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. We need a news site that's actually news, right? A news site that has no agenda. A news site that actually tells you the facts and just lets it all hang out. Say, hey, here are the facts. Make your own decision. You, the reader, need to decide what's right or what's wrong, right? Not the journalist, not the guy writing the article. That would be pushing an agenda. The guy writing the article, telling you how to feel, telling you how to think. That's agenda pushing. A true journalist just gives you the facts. Says, here are the facts. Make up your own mind. So that's what we're going to do. So look forward to that. Starting next month, what are we in September? Starting in October, we'll go ahead And just for the hell of it, we'll bring an extra hero. What's up, extra?
Yo, it's gonna sound like I'm blowing smoke, but people need to understand how brave it was what you did tonight. Like these are powerful people you were talking about, beloved institutions in this sector of the internet that you're currently in. But you were just like, fuck it, I gotta speak the truth.
I gotta tell it like it is, right? And like I said, I am in a I don't know if I am. I have to check after the show, but I was in a DM group with JDA.
Yeah.
And Ethan was following me on Twitter. I don't know if he's gonna be following me anymore, but he was.
Hey, Ethan's still friends with Eric July, and then they bumped heads before, so.
Oh shit.
And one of your looks like Bianca mentioned someone named Alpha Eagle.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, but just by listening to what y'all said, I get an idea.
Well,
y'all teach me a lot about this sector of the internet.
And we'll talk more about it when the show ends. I'm about to end it. I will say I was actually, the original plan was to do Alpha Eagle, but when I went and looked at his content, it was basically 99% talking about what someone else said. And I don't want to do videos on someone doing videos on someone, right? Like if you disagree with, yeah, well, not just that, like it seems very defending. Like, you know what? If you make a video on their debt, it's on their debt to defend their debt, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it would just be me going in there going, well, actually, what you said is wrong about what she said because here's what she thinks. Like, I don't know what the fuck she thinks, right?
Yeah. Ironically, if you were to do a video on Melanie Mac, she would be reading from this website. This is her only website that her browser goes to. This and Twitter. Yeah. So,
well, unfortunately, Extra Hero has ruined the surprise because Thursday we are actually talking about Melanie Mac. That's right, Punching Down podcast. We're gonna get Mac. That's right. It's gonna be Mac tonight, baby. Because Thursday, it's gonna be Melanie Mac time. She's gonna be in the hot seat. So
wow.
Look forward to that.
A long time coming, honestly.
It is. And I'm not gonna pull any punches. I had an epiphany today. Where I said, you know what? I've been holding back. I've been pulling punches because I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I try to get along with everybody, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got to fucking go for it, right? You just got to go all out. They don't hold punches back on me. Why should I hold punches back on them, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Everybody thinks I'm a bully anyway, right? If I'm going to get called a bully for going half, I'm going to just go all the way. Might as well just go all the way, right? So
it's worse reasons to be called a bully.
Yeah. So Thursday, like I said, it'll be Mac tonight, baby. But with that,
that's going to be lit.
Booty grease. I'm out this bitch.